Yoshu Chavatzeles Hasharon B'domam gram Binasei Horam Menu'um Mishbechazom Kavan Minhag Italki Tovei Moram How Kumises Sufurim Kinevak Nohemenogi Ngam Hakiturim V'adomau Nishadu Ugorim Kisirim Nudu
It's in a very unusual structure, like on Purim or in instances which we no longer preserve. They would have a krovos yudches on a weekday that has a piyut for each of the brachos of shemoneh esrei. Yudches in Eretz Yisrael, they did not have a Tzemach David, meaning they combined Birkas Yerushalayim and Tzemach David. So there were only 18 brachos of shemoneh esrei. So they would have 18 piyutim for the 18 brachos, like we have on Purim. On Tisha B'av, the krovos conk out after Birkas Yerushalayim. It's a very strange phenomenon that we find only in krovos for Tisha B'av. So what it appears is that the Paitonim would write for a short kinos for each bracha of shemoneh esrei, and then they would recite the remainder of the kinos in Birkas Yerushalayim.
Bondo me'arta halom kushoto Bavam matrao shmito Uvabar shapodim Uzkoto Me'jo.
So do you mean to tell me that in the middle of shemoneh esrei, when they got up to the bracha of Yerushalayim, they just stopped and said those 30 some odd kinos that we say on Tisha B'av morning?
Correct. And I can show you Italian machzorim from the 19th century that still have this. In fact, the krova, the first kina in the morning, Shavas Suru, begins the acrostic with. Why would it begin with samich? So it is clearly a continuation of a krova, meaning the first 14 stanzas were recited in the first 14 brachos of shemoneh esrei, and then they would continue. That's Aleph through Nun, and then they would continue with Samech in Birkas Yerushalayim. The krova that Shavas Suru was a continuation of is actually the Italian krova. It is not the krova that we recite in Breuer's, and it's very unclear. There probably was a continuation of that krova because it's Aleph through Nun, but it's not clear what kina that continued with, or if we even have that. We will have to wait for the work of Shulamit Elitzur, who will at some point who's working on all of the Kaliri's piyutim from the Gniza, and eventually we'll get to Tisha B'av. Correct. Yes, I even found in one Greek manuscript I happened to come across that it says that the chazan should sit down in the middle of Chazaras Hashatz and say the kinos. I mean, a manuscript of a Greek Jewish community from several hundred years ago.